And I believe that Ulku will be introducing our next speaker. See when Ulku is on stage with me here. She's just on her way in now.
Okay. Hello, hi. This is Ülkü from Lean Institute, Turkey. I'm happy to present you a speaker from Iran, Ali Enayati. He is a lean manufacturing engineer in a carpet manufacturing company in Iran, as well as he's working Sharif University of Technology. Besides his lean manufacturing expertise, he is dealing with machine learning, agile, and decision analysis. Starting from his master thesis, supervised by Moslem Habibi, which is an assistant professor at the same university, it turned out a real-world transformation story of this carpet manufacturing company, which is a highly traditional industry. They work introducing a hybrid framework combining the lean tools with decision making methods, as well as human-centric behavioral tools. Let's listen what and how they did.
Ulku?
Yes.
We were with Ali, but he didn't manage to come to the stage. Do you have any contact with him, direct contact, just to check if he needs support?
I think he lost the link. He lost the connection.
Yeah.
He was there. What happened? I don't know.
Okay. Priolo is texting me. He's trying to help here.
Ulku, while they try to support Ali in the background and take care of him, can I ask you some questions?
Yes, sure.
Is this, I assume that you've been working together and that this is a company you have been coaching?
Oh, no, they did themselves. No. I'm just hosting them
cool.
for the
Okay.
LTC. Yeah.
Okay. I was curious what it was like in their manufacturing plant. So, but you have not been there?
Oh, of course, I'm dealing with many manufacturing plants, but not this one.
But not this one. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. That's what happens with live television, right? Okay, Ulku, I'm being told from Mission Control that until Ali is able to come back on, you and I are just supposed to sing a song of some kind. No, don't worry. We don't have to sing. I just asked Queenie, though, about her lean origin story. What was that moment that really shifted her view? And it strikes me I've never heard your answer to that question. Is
I
that
couldn't
something you
get
could
your
share
point,
with us?
Maja. Could you please repeat again?
Yes, yes. Time. If you recall the time when you kind of got it, when you viewed the world in a different way through a lean lens, if there was a moment that you had, if there was something you witnessed, what is it that made you realize, wow, there's something to lean?
Well, there are some moments, right? For example, when I visited a Toyota plant, when I saw how they react to Andon, this is one of the aha moment because we know we implement Andons, but never in that agility. I never felt that agility before. That was an interesting moment. And also, there are some moments when I listen to Womack speeches because he puts in such a way you start to think in a different way. Those are the moments I liked. And also, I tried by myself just to make an A3 for my coaching work before the articles started to written around. Now they are in the backstage. There are such moments. Shall I take them to?
Okay, looks like he's
Now
joining now.
the speakers are on the backstage. Yes, they are coming. Hello, Muslim.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. Fine. How are you?
Thank
Hi,
you.
Ali
I
again.
apologize for the
Thank you,
delay.
Maisha. We had a small problem, technical connection problem.
I think it's resolved now.
All right. Now you can start, I think.
Okay, that's great. So let me just get into it as fast as possible. And again, I apologize for the delay to anyone viewing this presentation. So Ali, can you start on the first slide, please? Thank you. So I'm Muslim Habibi. I'm assistant professor at the Industrial Engineering Department at Sharif University of Technology. We're going to talk about a case study we did in Iran on implementing lean manufacturing in the carpet woven, in the machine woven carpet industry. To give you a bit of background, so at the Sharif Industrial Engineering Department, I have been working on lean method and agile in the research department for some time now. Ali, who used to be my master's student, approached me, and as he wanted to do his research on lean, we found a pretty interesting uh, s- section to do this, and that is lean manufacturing in the carpet sector. Ali himself, he worked for the Qaisar company, which is a mid-scale carpet weaving factory in Iran, and he comes from a region of Iran which is historically known for its carpet from the Kashan area. So it was an interesting fit for me as well because trying to implement lean in such settings is in itself has its own challenges from the typical manufacturing and setting that usually we see in research. So in Iran, as you know, we have pretty good manufacturing base. We have large companies, be it in the car manufacturing, different sectors, especially in the oil and gas sector. But the carpet weaving factory, all the Persian rugs, have been known throughout the world for some time now. It's a bit niche. It is a sector of the industry which traditionally was hand woven, traditionally used to be family owned or very small businesses. But in recent years, due to the new devices, new manufacturing techniques that they've used, middle scale and larger scale companies have started to flourish, which are producing pretty high quality carpet woven carpet. So that's why we chose this, as it had a lot of the challenges that we were looking for to implement lean in a specific setting. First of all, it was a traditional conservative industry. Second of all, we are at a time in Iran when there is high inflation, there's a lot of economic problems. Education around lean might be existing in top universities like Sharif University, where I teach, but in sectors like the carpet industry, it is not that much known. And again, last part is that a lot of the main industries in Iran are government owned or government controlled. But when we go to the SMEs, like Qaisar company, which Ali, my student, will explain more, it is a more private sector. So it has the opportunity and the challenges of the private sector compared to the large companies. So it was with this that we wanted to see how we can use lean tools, human-centric tools, and other tools in this regard to maybe be able to optimize lean manufacturing in traditionally conservative sector. I just want to add one last thing and then give the floor to Ali. Lean, yeah, is being used in Iran at the moment, but most of what we might be calling the lean philosophy, the lean practices, the lean tool set, we can see that more in new high-tech or technology-based companies. Iran has a pretty vibrant startup scene or tech scene, and this is just the example of some of the companies in Iran that are doing pretty interesting high-level work, be it Iran's Amazon, Iran's Uber, other companies. But that comes from the agile mindset because they are mostly technical companies. So we have the background here, and agile is being used in a large scale in large companies. But when we go to the lean, because of some of the cultural aspects, but mostly because of the economic aspect. For example, something like just-in-time inventory might not make sense in Iran because the price of the products, what you're procuring, changes so much that it is better to buy now, keep it in storage for a long, long time, even if you have to pay additional inventory and warehousing costs, than to try to become just in time, as the supply chain is not that much dependable as well. So all these challenges, alongside the fact of carpet being in our country's DNA, led us to this research. So I just wanted to give you a background overview of how we came to this, and I'll now give the floor to Ali to explain exactly how we were able to implement lean at Qaisar and change this traditionally classical hand-woven carpet industry, because a lot of the same people are behind both of them. The people that their families were in the hand-woven carpet industry are the ones that have provided the funds to create pretty big companies, pretty big manufacturers that are making machine-woven carpets, but the mindset is still the old mindset. And so Ali will explain how we were able to implement lean in this regard and try to take into consideration all of the steps of the carpet manufacturing value stream, be it from the, as you see in the next slide, be it from the initial yarn spinning, yarn dyeing, carpet design, to carpet manufacturing, completion and distribution, and see the different lean tools and Shingo principles, and especially we use MTDM method that Ali will explain in each part of this. So this is just the background, and Ali will give you the rough and tough details. Ali John, please, you can continue now.
Okay, now in this part, I would like to share our experience and the results we achieved from implementing Lean in Qaisar company. As Dr. Habibi mentioned earlier, before starting this transformation, we had already conducted a huge research project into this industry, which gave us a deep understanding of the main challenges from process inefficiencies to cultural barriers, and help us design a much more focused and realistic roadmap for improvement. So at the beginning, we developed an organizational excellence framework, which was designed especially for Qaisar company. As you can see in this slide, this framework brings together 4 approaches: continuous improvement, lean, the Shingo model, and group decision-making techniques. As you know, lean and continuous improvement have been common tools in many projects to eliminate waste and with the cultural continuous improvement. But in our view, they were not enough to change a traditional culture. We wanted to move beyond and build a people-driven workplace where both behavior and results are valued, not just for the short time, but in the long run. That's why we decided to integrate lean with Shingo's human-centric philosophy and structured decision-making methods. Here you can see our continuous improvement system. It includes 8 steps, from starting with identifying problems and ending with standardizing what works. The idea was to help teams approach problems systematically, to understand causes and their importance before jumping to solutions, and to sustain what truly adds value. Group decision-making techniques were key in order to understand what is exactly happening in the factory floor. Use a mix of analytical and collaborative methods, MCDM methods for roadmap design, and brainstorming methods for discussion on the shop floor. But honestly, the real impact wasn't about the tools. The important thing was the shift in people's mindset. To shape the new mindset, we organized around 8 workshops on organizational excellence over a period of 2 months. And as you know, changing culture in a traditional factory isn't very easy. It doesn't happen just because we talk about lean goals and share success stories. What I want to say is that people may agree with what you say, but that doesn't mean they'll change how they act. What truly inspired them was when they began talking about their own dreams and their goals, about what success meant for them. When we shifted from the factory's goal to my role and my future, actually my future and my role in the success, people started to engage more deeply, which means that they began to see themselves as part of the journey, not just followers of a project. Actually, we started with the idea of part to whole. We first pictured the futures for each of workers, and then we introduced all aspects of the framework and its advantages. Let's talk about the tools we have used in this project. As you can see, we used 8 lean tools. We started with DSN, KPIs, and Gemba to create a big picture of process and our problems, and then gradually added more tools based on our goals and a local context. It's worth mentioning that Anden was already in use because of the company's advanced machinery. However, as previously mentioned, we knew that technical tools alone wouldn't drive sustainable change. Actually, cultural growth had to go hand in hand system improvement. So inspired by the Shingo model, we used these 4 behavioral tools, which was designed to promote participation, recognition, and self-development. These tools helped connect continuous improvement with human development, turning from a set of methods into a shared mindset. Actually, with using all these tools, we managed to improve KPIs by 18% on average after 6 months and create a new culture in which people identify and solve problems proactively, and their well-being is placed at the center of improvement. So to summarize and make it more tangible, let's look at a few practical examples of what we actually did at Qaisar Company. In this slide, as you can see, what dimensions we considered to improve, and we map the relationship between different dimensions of excellence using the method. For example, as you can see, the diagrams at the left, at the bottom, shows that although productivity indicators are the most important dimension, the morale dimension is the most influential. And morale dimension includes some leading indicators such as suggestion rate and training hours per employee. Actually, that insight guides us toward using behavioral tools to drive other dimensions. In this slide, you can see value stream map, which was used to visualize bottlenecks and make waste visible for everyone. And then we identify waste and prioritize waste using topics, as you can see in this slide. Of course, the results represent phase 1 of lean transformation project. And another is fishbone diagram, which was used to identify root causes of improvement waste, important waste. As a result of the first phase, we observed clear improvement in both people's behavior and overall performance. Most importantly, at the end of the first phase, people began to see lean not as extra work, but as their way of working. I hope you enjoyed this short story of our lean journey. Thank you for listening, and I am Dr. Habibi. Would be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Muslim. Maybe while we are waiting for the participants to write their questions, I may put you a question. what was the difficulties of each side implementing lean tools, implementing decision-making models, and implementing behavioral tools? What are the difficulties of each in the real life?
I take that question or me?
Yes, please.
So the most important aspect, in my opinion, in this regard, is that you can't look at these three differently. The social aspects, alongside the tools, the technical tools, they have to be optimized together, and that's what makes it difficult. Because when you're trying to, you have a couple of KPIs, they interact with each other, and to optimize them, each of them might have a plus or minus relation to the other. That makes it difficult. So here in our case study that we were doing, one part was the tool, because to explain it to them, to train it to them, but to tell them the philosophy behind it, why they needed to do these practices, why they needed, for example, Kanban to visualize their work, what will happen. Most of it, after they have been done for some time in a company, and people can understand how they are benefiting from them. But initially, especially when you come from a pretty classical background in manufacturing, it takes a long time, because it's difficult to tell the worker or tell the management exactly how much ROI or return on investment it will create for them. It is something that happens in the long run when you're more efficient at doing your job, when you're more you're creating less waste, you're having more time to innovate. But this is not something that you can predict with certainty, that if you use these lean tools, if you use these lean behavioral aspects, you will get this type of investment out of what you're doing. So um, in my opinion, it's a compilation of all these together that creates the main difficulties. If it was just one aspect, be it using one tool, be it one behavioral notion, be it one technical aspect, I think it would be very easier to implement in such industries.
Thank you, Muslim. Do you face the difficulties of uh, developing management level? Because we have some difficulties in Turkey. That's why I'm asking. Maybe I can get a clue from you.
So at the management level, actually, it's harder at the management level than the personal level,
Mhm.
because people, they believe that their current mindset is correct. It might have been able to give them rewards so far, especially depends on which sector we are talking about. Of course, Turkey's economy has a lot of similarities, but again, a lot of differences from Iran's economy. But like, for example, in a lot of the large manufacturing companies, the people that are sitting there are political appointees. They have some age to them. It's very difficult to try to talk about lean, talk about human centricity, talk about Shingo with such people. But a good thing is that a lot of SMEs are popping up in Iran. Qatar company, in which Ali was able to connect us for us to conduct this case study, the main the people that were leading it, they were open to more fresh ideas, because they were from the newer generation, a more tech savvy generation. So I think we will see a pretty big shift in that regard, where the old guard will go, where the new guard will come. But if the top level management does not understand the philosophy of what you're doing, and it's not 100% behind it, I don't think that you are able to implement such practices by just trying to go at the operation level.
Thank you very much. That was a great job. Thank you, both of you, sharing this with LGC. And hopefully, you will disseminate this throughout the Iranian industry, other industries and other companies. Thank you very much. Thank you for
Thank you. Thank you for hosting us and for giving us the opportunity to present our work here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you
thank
very
you for
much.
listening for the audiences. Have a nice day of the rest. Bye. Okay.
Much for the
Roberto
presentation.
and
It was great to have you.
Samson is there. Okay.
Thank you.